I was the star of the 70s and 60s. I guess Carmen was the star of the 80s. But we had totally different galleries. He was more of a minimalist and I'm an expressionist. But I used to have some very humorous incidents in which people would come into my galleries and say, you know that gallery down the street? Yeah. It's closed. And I said, no, it's not closed. There's a show on there. I just looked at the window. There's nothing in there. I said, you go back and look around. You'll see something. Because some of his shows were so minimal that people who didn't know any better thought it was empty. But we got on very well. I used to bum cigarettes from him. And of course, I think he died of cancer of the throat. But he was a very hard-working guy. I understand at times he slept there. He's very deceptive. He didn't seem to speak English very well. But I suspect this was sort of a protective guise, frankly. A friend of mine visited me from Florence, Italy. And I said, there's another Italian down the way. Go and visit him. He came back and he said, he's not Italian. I said, what are you talking about? He said, I don't understand a word he spoke. I think Carmen was Sicilian. This guy was Florentine. So probably miles apart. Carmen had a hell of an eye. Very unique kind of sensibility. He was a great one for documenting things. It's a shame that he I don't know what's happening. He acquired an awful lot of art in various ways, and somebody I know is hired to handle the art, to sell the art, but there'll be nobody around to document it. I don't know if anybody's working on his records, or if there's records or what. I suspect the family is very protective. It's a very strange situation because his wife was a classic Italian lady. You never saw in the gallery. The only time I saw her when I went to the where they're having a wake for him, and I met her for the first time. But she never appeared. She was a classic. They came from Italy, and I guess she remained in the old vogue. And he was amazing that way. I remember when Dorothy Cameron had that spot. He was across the way and had a framing shop. And then he took over that place from Dorothy, as I recall. Dorothy had a tendency to get hysterical, hysterical laughter of a hysterical nature. And she laughed very easily and very loudly and continuously. A very emotional woman. And she started that gallery. She had a bunch of backers. I think John Parkin, who was the primo architect at the time, designed the gallery for. First time I ever saw a gallery with cement floor. And she did a hell of a job. She, of course, had this show of obscene art. She did something she shouldn't have done. She put a sign warning people, don't come, you come in at your own risk. Well, Jesus Christ. First cop who walked by would see that sign and go in. So she got nailed for that. The case was very poorly handled. She was found guilty, and obscenity is part of the criminal code, so it's a serious offense. She was fined $50, but it's a very poorly handled situation. Most of it was my fault because she loaned a lot of my artists. She loaned Markle, and she loaned Burton and Cofty, all who did rather sensual things, particularly Markle. So, and then she closed after that. I think she just ran out of will, frankly. But she did a hell of a job while she was there.